All right, Staten Island, it's time for another Player of the Week, episode 2. First episode, we had Chris Polomeni from College of Staten Island join us on the pod, the TUF Talk pod, talking about his success both at St. Peter's and, of course, this week in baseball for CSI. He had a great week a couple weeks ago. But now, Chris Reyes, Team USA Baseball. How are you, Chris?
Hey guys.
All right. I'm Todd Bavona, Tough Media. Great to be here. It's another week. It's another episode, another Player of the Week. This time we're sticking to Staten Island baseball, high school. So we're back on the high school level. Chris, obviously, season's in full swing now. So a lot of storylines are already starting to percolate. And Eddie Rethorn is one of those storylines, Chris.
Yes, sir. I was out to see him last week versus More Catholic. Ended up throwing a complete game no-hitter, which you don't see very often nowadays in high school. Pretty much dominated the strike zone all week. Um, had great defense behind him, but also did his job on the mound throwing strikes, disturbing hitters' timing. It was impressive for a high school pitcher, to say the least, Todd.
Yeah, the Southpaw is looking forward to another successful year. Has had success already up to this point, so he's in really good shape. And I think this team is obviously on the trajectory, right, Chris, to be one of the best in the city.
Yeah.
Do you think they have what it takes to be one of the best in the state
Well,
again?
I've seen almost every high school CHSA high school team in the city as of so far right now, and they're right at the top. I gotta say, Todd, but for the most part, Staten Island CHSA high school in general is at the top. So not only St. Peter's, but I believe the Vikings over at St. Joseph by the Sea, they're 10-1. More Catholic is on a winning streak. Farrell is doing outstanding right now. After speaking to Coach Mulligan, I saw them at the Berry Homes last Saturday. Joe Ramunda pitched, but it's pretty impressive right now for everyone, Todd, in Catholic school Staten Island baseball.
I'm curious what Eddie thinks about his team's chances to be the best in the state. Eddie, what do you think about your team being the best
Welcome, Eddie.
in the
What's up,
state, my
guys?
brother?
What's up, guys?
How we doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Good.
I think my team definitely has a great chance of winning the championship again this year. Hopefully, going back to back to back, but we'll see. We'll see. I think we have a solid team, but definitely losing some valuable seniors last year. It is definitely a great loss, but I think we can compete at any level with anyone. It's going to be like a scrappy kind of grind to get to where we were last year, but I think we have the talent and the kids to do it.
That's great to hear.
Speaking of scrappy grind, I mean, even the game that you threw a complete game no hitter in, that was a pitching duel, right?
Yeah,
Eddie, take me through that game a little bit. You were up against Moore's best. I mean, it was senior ace versus senior ace. I mean, even in your own island, even within a few miles of each other, you have a competitive borough here, Eddie. Am
100,
I correct? And you got a lot of talent right around town.
100%. I think the Staten Island teams this year are definitely very, very good, very solid. I don't think one is so much better than the other. I think we're all very close and talent wise, and it's going to be a very hard game. Nick Neville, the Moore pitcher, I've known him since I was young. Played with him at Snug Harbor, so it's I kind of know him pretty well, and it was a great pitching duel, low scoring game, and we just had to grind out that win.
Yeah, I was watching the game there, Eddie, and if you didn't pitch as well as you did, that was going to be a more game in favor of them if you didn't do so
Yeah,
well, because
definitely.
Nick threw just not as well as you did, but if you look at his numbers over the game, it was pretty impressive, Todd.
Yeah, very good.
You just outpitched them a little bit, you guys outhit them a little bit, but it would have been a real close game if you didn't if you didn't pitch as well as you did, Ed.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Eddie, what's setting your team apart thus far? Clearly, like to Chris's point, your bats saved you, right? And your bats came into play. Your great pitching really held them off because they're a good hitting team as well. They're winners, as Chris Reyes will tell you. But
Yes.
but what's setting St. Peter's apart? What's the strength of your team, of your lineup? Is it your bats? Is it a good blend? What's really going to set you guys apart?
Well, I think definitely our team chemistry. Like I think we're all very close, like very close on and off the field. So like we all have each other's back no matter what. And I think during that game, and I would say, yeah, our strength that is setting us apart is definitely our pitching and defense. Even though we did lose some good pitchers, I think that is what's been helping us throughout the season. Like all of our games have been low scoring games. All of our games have been very good defense and very good pitching and timely hitting. Just when runners are on base, we have to score when we gotta perform and when it's time to perform.
Yeah, and I think Ed, to that point, I think Coach Glenister, we were talking to Chris Palomini about this. Bobby and the JV staff and the freshman staff are starting to create a winning tradition, right? And I think along the way, and me and Todd played at Tottenville when Tottenville was, nationally ranked and all state this and winning that. And it was just a tradition that you had to take on the following year. And I think that's happening to you guys where it's like, I want to be a part of this culture moving forward. And I'm going to do my part this year to make it happen. Even if I have to bunt my way on or do the little things a little bit more than last year, because I know you had some boppers last year that can really spread the field out. I think it's going to be a little bit different this year, Todd. But to Eddie's point, I think they have that roster that can scratch and claw and score runs, and the pitchers obviously can do their job.
And Eddie, what are you looking forward to? I know you're bouncing back from. Define for me your injury from last year a little bit.
Yeah, so I was playing football last year for St. Peter's too. I was on varsity as a junior, and during a game versus Moore, I broke my tibula and fibula, just a
Oh,
Ooh,
freak accident, and my bone
brutal.
completely broke in half.
How'd
And
that feel?
ouch.
definitely the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life, and did not feel good at all. But
Oh, that sounds terrible, bro. I would have been
yeah,
crying for days, weeks, months.
I was just mad. I was just mad. I was just like, why me? Like, why did this happen to me? Like, I
Yeah.
was just, I was like, there's no way I can't walk
So
right now
Ed,
or get up.
just going into the brain of the athlete a little bit, right? Because there's going to be little kids watching and stuff like that. You know,
Exactly.
talk little bit about the mental part of it last year when you were out watching your team going on that run, and I know you came back late in the season.
Yeah,
How did you deal with that mentally? That's not easy to do, right? You have to be a pretty mature kid to handle that.
it was very hard. Definitely very hard. Very rough. Yeah. So sophomore year, also I transferred from Farrell to Peters. Well, fresh like the beginning of sophomore year, so I wasn't able to play my sophomore year either. And
Mm,
then I was watching them play, and they also had a great team, and I was helping them any way I could, just in practice, whatever they needed. And then got to see that crazy championship run, and then last year coming back watching, I was just so mad because obviously I could play this year, and I had to sit out the whole last year. So for me to have to wait again another whole season was very frustrating. But I kept checking up with my doctor, kept doing PT and stuff, and I was just telling myself I have to get back on the field like as soon as I can, as soon as I can. It might have been a little rushed. Like I definitely still was hurting a little bit when I came back, but I had to do what I had to do what I had to do to get back on the field.
yeah,
And but mentally it was definitely it was just very hard, like just a lot of questions going on in my head, just overthinking a lot. But
yeah.
the best thing was just seeing my team compete and win, and just then being able to be a part of that was just amazing. And then just work hard in the off season to be where I am now.
That's great, man. That's a
Thank
mature
Man,
you.
answer, Eddie. I'm impressed by that, bro. Because I've been hurt. I've been on the bench. It sucks. It really does. And
Terrible. Yeah.
for you to come back late in the season last year and then really step up this year, tells a lot about you as a person. So keep it up,
Thank
dude.
you.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
what else have you worked on? Obviously, physical strength and getting stronger. I find coming back from injury, one of the hardest things is getting to a place where you feel as strong, as
Yeah.
quick, and you're not thinking about your injury. You're not thinking,
Yep.
oh no, I can't go. 110%, as we say, even though you should never say that. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
100%,
you're
100%.
not thinking about it. Talk to us through that process. And I think Chris's question is so great about mental toughness and
Yeah,
mental health, right? I mean, there's so much that goes into it, not just the
100%.
physical, but can you take me inside your mind a little bit and your body a little bit? Like, when did you start to feel, okay, I got this, and you felt stronger and you felt confident to the
So
point, Eddie, where you weren't thinking about it?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, no, 100%. So last year when I was coming back, I definitely didn't feel 100%. Definitely felt like 80 to 90%. And like I still felt like it felt like I felt like I had a new leg. Like I have a metal rod in my leg and a couple screws in there, and I had to get emergency surgery. So it definitely felt like I had a new leg, and I
Wow.
wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to it, but I kept working as hard as I could, and literally all I did was just try and strengthen that leg to get back to where it was, to get back to where I felt normally. And but during that season, I was just like, let's just get through the season. Like, let's try and just do what I can, be a scrappy player that I am, and just try and get on base, try and help the team as much as I can, play the outfield, whatever they need me to do, and then just grind in the off season and hopefully bounce back to where I know I was last year. So I'm at this year to where I am this year. But in the weight room, yeah, definitely a big part of my recovery. I had to definitely a lot of squats, a lot of deadlifts, just a lot of stuff to get to where I was last year. And then my speed is that was hard because that just came along with me running a lot. Because at first it just felt like my this leg wouldn't even like come close to catching up to my other leg, and it was just weird. It was just very weird. But over time throughout the summer and now it feels like I feel totally like back to normal, like totally back to normal. I feel
That's great.
even better than what I was. So
That's great to hear, man. And clearly, it's helping even with the strain of pitching as well, where you're putting
yeah,
so much weight, all right, on it.
yeah, that's my back leg. That's my push off leg. So that was definitely helps with velocity. Just you pushing off that back leg. Yeah.
Yeah, so Ed, just real quick, let's kind of piggyback what you just talked about. Let's go to that Mid Island game a little bit where it's like
Yeah.
I'm watching you play. I'm in that little booth that they have there, and your velocity was like I believe 83 to 86 mostly
Hmm.
every pitch. Dropped down a little bit at the end there. You were low 80s. Curveball was consistent. You were dominating both sides of the plate, top and bottom. It didn't even look like you had a an injury. Talk about that a little bit on how you can go from shattering your leg, right, to throwing a complete game no hitter, which is obviously not easy to do from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint. Walk us through that start.
Yeah. Well, I knew deep down inside myself, like I just always believed in myself, and I know that I was always able to do that. With if I never broke my leg, I think I would have done the same thing or even better. So I always knew I had that in me. But that was the goal, is to make sure to for everyone to feel like I never even broke my leg or forgot about it just because of
Mm,
how good I looked on like the mound. And but yeah, the velocity wise, definitely just from working out and just recovering. All I just had to do so much work on this leg that definitely just helped. It gained this season. Like last season, I would say low 80s, like topping 83, and now that's like my lowest 83 to like topping 86, 87. So just that yeah, that's just a huge win in my books. Just that you said that it didn't even look like I had an injury. Like that. That's
yeah, it's
just a
great.
definitely a great thing to
Yeah,
hear.
I'm glad that your body healed, Ed, because leg injuries can be a real problem. So
100%.
it's good stuff.
How'd you feel after that start?
After that game,
Yeah,
I felt amazing. I just knew that I could do that, so it just felt like very fulfilling and like very I felt very accomplished. Like I knew I had that in me, and the whole game, I was like, I'm not letting them get a hit. I felt good. The weather was good, and I just knew like I was not letting them get a hit. And I thought I wasn't even gonna walk anyone until a 3-2 count, a couple times, like three times. But I just felt really good that game.
Ed, I saw you struggling there a little bit in the I believe it's a sixth or a seventh,
Yeah.
and Vin Grimaldi, the catcher, walked out. What did he say to you? Because I've been in that situation where I'm catching a no hitter, or this is a big game and we need a win. What was that conversation like?
Well, Vin always comes up to me. He always checks on me, but he basically said that keep doing you because he trusts me. He has full faith in me. He said, keep doing you. I trust you and I got your back. And that's all I really needed to hear. Just that reminder that he has my back, my team has my back, and just to keep throwing strikes and just finish through this game. And
That's great.
everyone had my back. My team had my back, and definitely Vin had my back.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
You're at the time of this recording, you're heading away somewhere. Where are you headed?
Oh yeah, I'm heading to Italy this
That's
Uh-oh.
pretty cool.
We lost him. Well, there he
Oh,
is.
he's back. Nope, he's not back.
There he is.
There he
Yeah.
is.
Oh, sorry about that. I just lagged a little bit. What?
It's all right. No worries. I'll pick it up here. It'll be an edit point. Here we go. In 3, 2. Ed, you're actually, at the time of this recording, you're about to get on out of here and not just get out of the borough, the city, or the state, the whole country. Where you at? Sorry.
Let's try that again.
Let's try here.
Let's do that again. Sorry.
Thank God for editing.
Thank God for editing. 3, 2. Say, Ed, at the time of this recording, you're actually getting ready to head not just out of the borough, the city, the state. You're leaving the country. Where you headed, brother?
Yeah, I got my bags packed. I'm headed to Italy tomorrow, for about a week, and I'm going to my school, and I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
What are we going? What are we seeing? What are the expectations? I mean, gosh, I have so many questions for you here.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. Well, obviously, I have some Italian in me, like probably 50% Italian, and then the other half Irish. So I haven't been out of the country since I was like 8 years old for like a wedding,
Wow.
and I'm definitely super excited. I'm gonna go see Rome, like Pompeii, the Colosseum. I'm gonna go see Sorrento, and then Capri, an island in Italy. A bunch of nice things, probably a bunch of nice museums,
Sure.
churches, bunch of nice sights to see. So very excited.
That's going to be an outstanding trip, and with your friends from school. So I got to ask this. I guess that means you're taking off some time from the baseball field, and
I
you're not going to
am,
be
I
playing
am,
for.
I am, I am. I so before the season, but my mom asked Coach Bobby if how many games I would be missing,
Okay.
and Coach Bobby only said one game, and then comes to find out that it would be a little more than one game this week. So missing about 3 or 4 games because one of them got postponed to this week, so I might be missing 4 games.
Okay.
And but not to sound I guess cocky or anything, but these teams we play should be winnable games. We should have
Okay.
winnable games even without me on the field. So
But you're still going to miss out. But I think it's a great opportunity that St. Peter's is a great place,
great
great
education, great
great
education.
great opportunity that I think you need to take advantage. And God bless you and your family and everyone that's going to be able to do this trip. And I think that's very important for the
Yeah.
development for your personal and
Thank
just
you.
to
Yeah.
see how other people live and whatnot. So I think this is great. You're
Definitely.
going to miss a little bit of baseball. I got a question though. Can you pick up a glove or go to a batting cage in Italy? Is that a thing? Can you do
Well,
that?
I'm
Imagine.
definitely bringing my glove in my suitcase. And another kid on the team, this kid Zaboinski, is going to Italy, so he's bringing his glove too. We'll definitely have a catch in Italy and definitely
Just
work out.
just to say that you had a catch in Italy.
Sick, yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
So
some
and you
good
also,
baseball in Italy, guys. One
there's
of my
really good
old
baseball.
coaches, Frank Del George, if you guys know Coach Del George, Zavarian, St. Francis, he was a big part of developing youth
Yeah.
baseball in Italy. So there's some good baseball out there if you can find it.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Maybe I'll see some baseball down there, or
You never know. You could find a local team playing,
you
right?
never
I mean,
know.
it's
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
it
Get a
it's in
few
there.
innings on a local high school team in Pompeii.
Let's go.
That would be freaking hilarious. I actually saw a
That might be on the
Florentine
bucket
game,
list now.
soccer game, live when I was there in
Wow.
Florence many years ago, which was an awesome experience. Obviously, soccer is life in Europe and whatnot, so it's a little
Yeah.
bit different. But at the time of this recording, Aaron Judge was just announced as the captain for Team USA for the World Baseball Classic 2026.
Yeah,
That's
that's
going to
fun.
be managed by Mark Zorosa coming up next year, which is a Huge deal. I'm excited. I'm sure Chris is stoked and knows all about it. But Eddie, I
Oh
got to
yeah.
just ask you a general question here.
Yeah.
What team are you following? What players do you look at after? Do you watch baseball? Give me a little bit more about you, Eddie.
Yeah, well, you might not like this answer, but definitely a Mets fan, and
All right.
uh, definitely. I mean, you can't hate on Aaron Judge. Definitely a great baseball player, and
Sure.
definitely deserves that accomplishment. But yeah, no, I'm a Mets fan,
Okay.
and I love Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso,
That's
and
great.
definitely glad we got Juan Soto to the team. We got to see if all that money was worth it, but I think I definitely love those three, and I love Brandon Nimmo too. Very speedy outfielder, and I feel like I kind of play a little similar to him. But yeah,
That's what I was looking for there, Ed. Yeah, complete the blank. This person inspires me, or I model my game after the most. Pitching first and then hitting second. Go.
so for hitting, I would say Brandon Nimmo definitely.
What
Um,
about him?
I love his contact, like his swing, his contact,
Okay.
his speed. He's just like your typical like lead off two hitter, or even he's been batting three or sometimes four, but just getting on base. He works a lot of walks too. His eye discipline's great, and I just love how he could hit for power and he's very fast.
Pitcher that you model yourself after, or someone you like watching pitch, and why?
This is a little tough one, but I definitely love I love Clayton Kershaw and Chris Sale, definitely two lefty pitchers that I look up to, and I just their all speed is very nice. Also, another one, Justin Verlander. I use his slider grip,
Oh,
and
really?
I think he's a uh, very great pitcher, and yeah, definitely I appreciate him for giving me a slider grip, and it's a great it's one of my best pitches. So.
That's awesome. All right, so you got a little bit of like Kershaw, Sale, your southpaws, Verlander, a perennial, old school, big righty. Hey, Chris Reyes, did you face Justin Verlander ever?
I didn't. I saw him play in college though.
I know my buddy Sal Iacono faced him a couple
Yeah.
times when Sal was at Princeton, I believe it was, or when he played some minor league ball, whatnot. But can you imagine facing Verlander or
That's,
Kershaw in
yeah.
their prime, or Sal?
I
Yeah.
did
Sal was
see
a
I did see
beast.
him when he was younger, and it was dominant versus some of the best hitters in the country. It wasn't even close. It
Oh,
it would be like Eddie pitching versus like little leaguers right now.
yeah,
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, no, they're sick. They're amazing.
Yep,
awesome,
it's
man.
impressive.
Well,
It's a different level.
Eddie, I'll leave you with and Chris chime in if you have any other last questions for Eddie. I think I just want to leave you off with, hey, what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season? What's some goals for yourself? Or anything you looking to adjust on the mound? We're talking about styles of pitching,
Yeah.
hitting as well. You looking to make any last adjustments to get you through the rest of the season? And what are you looking forward to most, my friend?
So yeah, we'll start with I guess the pitching aspect is definitely working on just feeling more loose on the mound, and like sometimes I do grip the ball a little tight,
Huh?
and that's just when I'm getting like a lot of adrenaline wound up. But if just staying loose and being just finding that rhythm, being consistent within the strike zone is definitely a big part of the game that I need just to lower those walks. That shouldn't happen. I should never give anyone a free base, but sometimes that happens when I get a little wound up. And then for hitting, also just staying up the middle, Sometimes I have tendency to swing at a high pitch or pull my head out because I'm trying to crush the ball. And definitely just staying up the middle and just hitting line drives is definitely something I'm focused on for the rest of the season, which I've definitely been improving on. And then
Right.
what I'm looking forward to is back to back to back, another championship win. I would love for that to happen, and I think my team can do it.
That would be a great
Chris?
feat, Eddie, and we definitely wish you the best. Appreciate you guys, appreciate you coming on and have fun in Italy. Don't eat too much pasta. Although I heard that you
A lot
can't
of
eat as much
pasta, a
as you
lot of
want
pasta.
and you won't gain any weight, but enjoy
It's
it
Thank
true.
and
you, thank you.
yeah,
It's true, 100%, Eddie. Listen, when you go out there, Don't be afraid to eat anything and everything in sight. You're
I'm
not going to
gonna.
see an ounce of it on you. I guarantee you.
Where did we hear that?
Yeah.
Right here,
you,
Tough Media.
I'm telling you,
Tell me.
I've been to Italy, been all over Europe. Their food is different. It's a different world out there, Ed. Enjoy every second of it, brother. Okay.
Appreciate that. I
Yes,
appreciate that.
sir.
Thank you.
All right, Eddie. Well, congrats again on your success thus far on the incredible no. What an outing. 103 pitches, a bunch of 5Ks. What an outing. And I think there's more left in that tank. And also congratulations on your mental toughness, sir. It's amazing to see, as Chris alluded to, how hard you needed to work, not just physically to get back to where you are right now, but mental toughness and finding it in your heart and in your head to stick with it. So good on you. Have a safe flight. Enjoy your trip, and good luck the rest of the way this season, my friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for having me on here. Thank
Yes,
you guys.
sir. We'll see you soon, Ed. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Ed, you take care now. What a good guy, man.
Yeah, they're doing a great job over at St. Peter's, as obviously we know with Chris Palomini last week. And Todd, I'm going to go back to what I originally talked about.
Go
Staten
ahead.
Island just overall is doing a great job with developing young men.
Yeah,
The player of the week this week, Anthony DePetro, another great kid. And again, I know these kids since they're little
sure.
kids playing in Little League, and they've all, their parents are great people, they're great
Yeah.
people, and Eddie is just another product of that.
Everyone seems to be so grounded and humble and understanding of the process. And Chris, what I mean by that is the process of not just the game but life itself. And you hit it on the head with Eddie, Chris, was his mental toughness and fortitude, and his heart was in it, and to
Yeah.
be able to get out of what he was in. It's crazy. I mean, and he's so mature about it. He's so
Yeah.
advanced. It's incredible, Chris.
It is really incredible, Todd. I've never had a major injury playing wise. I was very, very grateful for that. But I can only imagine what it takes to, think about it. It's a year-long process to heal that injury.
Oh,
It's not like you had stitches and you're out for eight days, right?
right.
It takes a toll on you physically, mentally, spiritually. Um, so it's impressive at
Yeah.
that age that, like you said, that he has the maturity level to actually do that.
Chris, real quick. I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys. You are more than I. It was great to get to know him. What is baseball his number one sport?
I would think so. I mean,
Okay,
he,
I'm not
I,
because I'm just not
if
sure
I
with
if I was
football.
him playing football, I don't know if I would go back and play after an injury like that.
True.
But I know that he's committed to Cortland to play baseball. He's a lefty that's throwing
Okay.
mid 80s and probably at the end of the season upper 80s. That's appealing to scouts,
Sure.
right? You never know. You get into the 91, 92, 93 range as a lefty, you
Yeah.
start looking like kids like Joe DiBenedetto, right, who played for the Toronto Blue Jays from Tauntonville. Um, he played at Seton Hall. That's a type
That kind
of
of build.
level kid he can be.
Okay.
That was Joe in high school, right, at Tauntonville. He was probably like 86, 88, got to Seton Hall, 89, 92, 93, and then gets
Wow.
drafted out of college and plays pro ball for 3 years.
A commitment to Cortland. That's a good catch. That's something I should have mentioned to our viewers and our listeners at the top of this. But yeah, he's a senior. He's a pitcher outfielder at Peters right now. Had his no is having a great season with Peters. So he's already committed to Cortland next season to play baseball. We
Yeah.
did talk about football, but it doesn't seem like that's his primary path. So again, a well-rounded, good individual, Chris. It was great to have him on, man. And of
Yeah,
course,
it was
as
a lot of
always,
fun.
good to talk to you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Let you go. And to all of our viewers and listeners for the Tough Media, Tough Talk podcast, reviewing everything Staten Island sports and baseball. Another great week of baseball for Staten Island. I saw a couple of plenty of wins from Tauntonville, but also from other teams on the island. As Chris alluded to, the Staten Island schools are kicking some butt out there.
Yes, sir.
So good luck to all the teams, and we'll catch you next time. And again, like, subscribe, follow. You'll catch us somewhere out there in the world of podcasts. All right. So
Yes,
for
sir.
Chris Reyes, Team USA Baseball, my name is Todd Bavona for Tough Media. Until next time.